Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Myself Jahanvi Appalla. In this YouTube channel, the main focus would be on learning Java, and this channel is specifically made for ICSE class 9th and 10th students. Now, let us start with our programming journey and let us learn what programming really means. Now, what is programming? In simple words, programming is nothing but just giving instructions to the computer. For example, asking the computer to display Hello World on the output screen. This is what, in simple terms, programming means. Which means, again, I am repeating the same, that is, you're just giving instructions to the computer to perform the task which you need and which you want the computer to do. Now, the examples are the calculator apps, the mobile games, the websites which we make. Websites are nothing but the code which we have written, which will solve the problem of taking your traditional business to online. What programming is. So, programming in simple terms is you're just giving instructions to the computer. It will, in written, give you some task performed. Now, let us move to what can you think of an example. Now, suppose you are the chef and your computer is the kitchen machine. Now, programming is the recipe which you write step by step. Now, you are giving the recipe of your food to the computer so that it can make it. So until and unless your recipe is clear, the machine won't be able to perform it. If I want to give it in the programming terms, it is like you're writing a code in a particular programming language which is hello world, and if you write print hello world, then what is the message given to the computer? That is, the computer has to print hello world on the screen. Now, if the programming language, whichever you are using, if the syntax is correct, if you have given the recipe perfectly, then the machine will properly display hello world on the computer screen. So, this is what programming means, as you have seen in the example given. So, if your recipe is clear, then the machine will give you the desired output properly. Now, next, what is the importance of programming? Like, why are we even studying programming? So, before this, let me tell you that programming is nothing but it is the way of solving real world problems. Programming helps us in solving real world problems through the medium of programming language. So, where is programming used? It is used in artificial intelligence, robotics, mobile applications, websites, cybersecurity, data science. Now, all of you would be aware about these all things because you are constantly watching YouTube or watching the tech news. So you may be well versed with these terms. Now, next, what is programming language? Programming language is nothing but telling the computer what to do. Now, programming was also giving the instructions, but programming language is the medium through which you give instructions to the computer. Now, this programming language could be Java, Python, C++, C. So it simply means you are telling a chef the recipe. Now, how to make, now the chef, you're telling the chef to make a recipe of Began Bharta. Now, you can give the instructions in Hindi or English or Marathi or any regional language you know, or any language of the global world. So, programming language is the medium through which you give instructions to the computer. Okay, so again, let me give you a clear difference between what is programming and what is programming language. Programming is giving instructions to the computer. Now, programming language is the way in which you give instructions to the computer. Now, the programming languages are of two types. First is low level languages and second is high level languages. As you all know that computer doesn't understand our English or our Hindi or anything of that sort. It only understands the machine language, the binary language, which is zeros and ones. Okay, so low level language is the one in which we write code in the binary format or in the machine code. That means it is very harder for on our level to write that code, because binary language and machine language is very much difficult for us personally. And so this led us to shift from low level languages, high level languages. Now, what are high level languages? High level languages are just English like languages, which are very easy for humans to understand. And now you would be having a question, like, if we are writing in English, computer don't understand English, so how is the computer gonna know? So the computer will understand this with the help of something called as compiler. You would have heard about compiler. Compiler is nothing but a translator. For example, you are English and your friend is French. So how are you going to communicate? So now in today's world we have translators, but earlier we had a human translator. So the human translator would know both the languages and they would convert the this English language into Spanish language. So here you can consider compiler as a translator who converts the English like language of a human into machine understandable language, that is zeros and ones for the computer. So high level languages are English like languages, and low level languages are the one which is in the form of zeros and ones and all, or the machine language. Mm. So now we have different high level languages which are Java, Python, C++, JavaScript, and C. And every language has its own features and it has its own superpowers. So Java is generally used for Android applications, Python is used for AI data science, C++ is used for gaming softwares, JavaScript is used for making websites, C language is used for creating like making operating systems. Next, why Java? Now, Java is simple, like its syntax is super simple, secure. We will learn about the features of secure and object oriented in the next video. When talking about platform independent, I'll tell you more about this in the next slide. And why Java? Java is used in Android apps, banking systems, web applications. Next, why Java is platform independent? So, let me talk about C. In C language, what happens is the compiler which we use is specific to a particular operating system. So whatever the code it converts is specifically for that operating system only. For example, if you are writing C language, a C program in a Windows operating system, so it will generate a code or it will generate a machine code which is specific only to that operating system. Similarly in C++. But what happens in Java is Java has a .java file. As we know that every programming language has its .py file, which is for Python, .c file for C, .cpp file for C++. So Java has a .java file which we have created, that is humans have created. Now, what will what will happen? The Java program gets compiled by the Java, that is Java compiler, into a bytecode. What is bytecode? Bytecode is dot class file, and this dot class file is independent of any operating system you use. So the dot class file is the main reason for the Java being platform independent. This dot class file can run on Windows or Linux or Mac OS. It will run the same bytecode on all the platforms. This is why we are learning Java, which is platform independent. It's very much easy for a beginner. Not easy, but yeah, it gives us a clarity about what a programming language really is. So by this time, I feel you would have understood why Java is platform independent. What does programming helps? Programming helps us to solve real world problems and build future technologies. This is why we learn programming. So now, with this up till this point, you would have understood what is programming. Why do we need to learn programming? So programming basically helps us to solve real life problems. And learning Java would develop logical thinking, coding skills, and problem solving ability. So, with this, I would like to tell you that though we may not be creating any such great websites or apps, but with this, course, we would be understanding the basics of Java. We would be understanding the ABCD of programming. Like, I would like to tell you that I won't guarantee you that with this you will become a programmer, or with this you will become a pro software developer or something. But I would guarantee you that I'll teach you the ABCD of programming, so that with this ABCD you will frame sentences, then paragraphs, then speeches, then maybe write books. So this course is just the basics and the building of your Java programming journey. So thank you so much for being till here. If you like this video, if you understood the video, just see to it that you like, share, and subscribe this channel, which is ICSE Java Made Easy. Thank you. Thank you so much.